Hello, hello, and welcome to Truth Inc. I'm here with Jason's from ST's Crime Maze. We are going to be going over a couple of topics today that we've gone over together in collaboration with our channels about the Tyler Robinson slash Charlie Kirk situation and the Brian Koberger slash IDAHO4 situation. So we have new things to talk about. Not specifically. Well, the one has a new court happening. We'll get into that in a minute. And then we had watched. I watched a crime show and I sent it to Jason, and he too watched it. And we both agreed it lined up exactly. This guy showed us exactly what we wanted to see, without realizing he thought he was damaging that guy by showing what he was showing, but he was proving me and you pretty much right, and a lot of other people who are saying the same thing. So we'll get over that too. But first, I wanted to go over Tyler Robinson. But Jason, from ST's Crime Maze, how are you feeling? I heard you were injured.
Yes, I am. But are we live?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, hold on.
Got to take off your sexy robe.
Yes, and my arms have shrunk because I have an intercostal injury. Thank you for asking. We're trying to heal it. It's torn again, and it's not even from weight training. Normally, as you know, I used to lift the weights. Anyway, off that, I just want to add a quick disclaimer, and it's great to be with you, Ellie, of course, and with your audience, and hopefully eventually we'll upload this to my channel as well. Mm-hmm. And I guess, you know, and Ellie, I'm sure would concur that we both try to provide unvarnished, unfiltered, raw truth in true crime cases. And if you guys like that, you're at the right place. And I hope you subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon, do all that good stuff. Leave a comment for us. Of course, we love your engagement. And finally, just a real quick disclaimer, and then we'll get back to Ellie's perspective and any questions or thoughts that she has with me on these cases. I just wanted to say that, of course, we're not accusing anybody of committing any crimes. And when it comes to the IDAHO4, you'll find out Ellie and I don't even think a crime actually occurred. And I just want to say, I think Ellie would attest to this, that we're just here to give our thoughts, our opinions, and lay it out for you guys and gals out there. And this is, in other words, for entertainment purposes only. And that's that. And we want to get into it. But again, my friends, if you want that unvarnished, unfiltered truth, as I say, you're at the right place. So we're going to lay out our thoughts and feelings on these cases. This is entertainment purposes only, and everything's alleged. So with that being said, now back to you, the host. Lovely Ellie Sophia.
Everybody knows that I'm a conspiracy theorist, so I don't worry about that. And this is not a disclaimer. This is just a common sense thing. A lot of what we're saying is our opinions. We don't live in those areas. We aren't familiar with what happened and the only two people who are being silent right now and sticking to a story that's totally not doable. So we need to get to the bottom of it through what we do is we eat away at the so-called evidence, which so far has been Barney Fife special. Like I can't believe they even insulted our intelligence to put this out. But anyway, we'll get into that. I'm just saying a lot of this is our opinions and my opinions, and we don't have direct knowledge of those crimes. All we have is what's available online,
what we see,
and what we see, and what we don't see. Now, what we don't see is a lot more important than what we've seen. Believe me, and you'll find out more about that later in the broadcast. But first off, I wanted to touch down on this newest court case with Tyler Robinson and his lawyer. They are taking a shot at the prosecutor. You see, the prosecutor's child, I'm not sure if it was son or daughter, I think it was son, was at the Charlie Kirk shooting and phoned his father from there. And the defense is kind of saying, well, he could have been emotionally influenced, that his child phoned him from there and was so traumatized or in shock, whatever. So they're trying to get him removed from the case. And like I thought personally, maybe it was a play to dismiss the charges because they know this 30-06 thing's not going to fly.
No.
But no, it was just his lawyers taking a chance at getting this prosecutor off.
Until the court determines the scope of the conflict. We think the conflict requires disqualification from the case, but ultimately, obviously, that's going to be a judicial determination.
All right. Anything further from the state before the court makes its ruling on this issue?
I just want to clarify. You're talking about the need for an evidentiary hearing in order to determine whether or not the the county attorney's office can handle the motion to disqualify?
No, I'm determining just an initial showing of a conflict that exists here. Like
Well, for what purpose? To disqualify the office, or to have the attorney general's office step in and handle the disqualification motion?
To disqualify the office.
Can I take a crack at it?
If you wouldn't mind, Mr. Gray, just stepping to the lectern, just so the record picks you up. Sometimes these microphones are a little long.
If I could take a crack at it. Basically, I think what you're saying is kind of like a Frank's hearing where you have to allege sufficient facts so that based on those facts, if the court takes that as true, then you would need whether or not there would be a legal basis to conflict it out or find a conflict, right? And so if they don't make that showing, then the court can rule straightway. But if they do make that showing, if what's alleged is true, then we go to an evidentiary hearing. Is that?
Mostly, it's the initial showing of a conflict. And what happens after that will be determined because they're bringing this up for the first time today.
Basically like a prima facie showing initially, is that what you're
Essentially.
saying? Yeah. Okay. I think that's, I'll let you.
Now, I appreciate your clarification. Mr. McBride.
Nothing else.
All right. It's the court's, and I've read the briefing by all parties and listened to the argument today, and I don't believe a sufficient showing has been made for the court just relying upon the briefing itself. And so I can't make that finding based off, well, I would find that that threshold showing hasn't been met based off the briefing. And turning to Mr. Novak, based off that finding of the court, what is your position?
Our view is that if the court has concluded that the briefing does not yet rise to the level of proof that the court should at this time make a referral, then the court should begin to take evidence. And there may be a moment where the court says, okay, I've heard enough, now I'm ready to make a referral, and we're going to stop and pause and wait for the Attorney General to engage, and then we'll have to see where that goes, but it may be that we have to finish the evidentiary hearing. But, I think all of us can attempt to prioritize the portions of our examination so that the court can make that finding as early as possible. I'm just trying to avoid doing the hearing twice.
I understand.
Because right now, it's our view, the state is not being represented by the attorneys who should be representing it. And so if the state's going to come in later and say, well, we want to redo the evidentiary hearing because the state wasn't represented by the right parties, I mean, or by the right lawyers, that's something that we would want to avoid. We want to do this once out of a courtesy to the court and to a couple of the witnesses.
No, I appreciate that. And can this be accomplished by proffer?
I don't know what the witnesses are going to say because they've only given us very limited information. The state elected to give us information in their briefing, some of which is, like I said a few times now, is not sworn by affidavit or declaration. It's in the nature of argument. I mean, there are portions of Mr. Gray's brief, he signed it, where he makes many, many assertions of fact in the course of arguing the legal issues. And none of that is sworn. And I mean, I'm sure that, and I think, so I don't think that there can be a proffer, because I don't know what the proffer is. I know that I have a lot of questions about things that we were not, that the court was not told about in the briefing and the affidavits. So the answer, respectfully, is no. It can't be done by proffer.
All right. And which witnesses are you intending to call today? And I understand you're saying you wish to just put on enough and focus on the key issues, but just if I were to grant, I'm just trying to understand the scope.
Well, I think Mr. Gray is the first witness. The second witness.
We may approach.
Yes. Parties to the bench, please.
Okay.
Do they know something we don't know? And might, like, another prosecutor is going to be the same thing. You understand what I'm saying? It's.
Well, you know, these court cases, it's funny, isn't it, Ellie? A lot of it, they want to bring this stuff to court in some way, like the IDAHO4, and who makes money? Mainstream, lamestream media make money, but largely with lies to the public, which we're going to get into in our opinions of totally, it was a staged crime scene, but they won't admit it. The students are alive, in our opinion, you'll find that out. And Charlie Kirk, the same thing. The lawyers, prosecutors, the legal system make a shitload of money. But like you said, maybe they're going to try to throw this whole Tyler thing out, and probably he won't even maybe go to actual court for an actual trial. Like we saw with the IDAHO4, Brian Kohlberg pleads guilty, doesn't even go to trial. And they found touch DNA on a knife sheath, and apparently you were supposed to believe he stabbed 4 students. All horseshit.
Yeah, I know, and you know, a lot of the evidence we'll be bringing into this is kind of going to prove our point there. Because I was watching this person. I'm not going to give the channel name or anything because I want you to watch it on my channel. But he's laughing, thinking like this guy's a real scumbag, and he's going right along with the whole narrative. Yet he's displaying everything that Jason and I have said from the beginning about this case. And he himself admitted when he first started the broadcast, he said, there's so much more to this case that I had no clue of until I looked into it, right? And I think he was talking about all the different channels that have been doing all the content on the IDAHO4 and, you know, the Charlie Kirk murders, the whole deal, right?
Cool.
So I've been trying to keep away from all that kind of stuff right now and getting into other stuff. But now with this coming up, this was important. So I don't know what difference the other prosecutor is going to make, or if they want a federal prosecutor, which is even worse, because it's the feds that are trying to cover all this, in my opinion, do this whole BS narrative of this kid shooting Charlie and a 30-06 bullet stopping in Charlie's neck and going down because he drank so much milk and his neck bones were get fucked. Sorry. Yeah. Not happening. So that doesn't work for me at all. It doesn't work for, I've been on X every day. Nobody on that platform that I know of, other than maybe a few influencers, no one buys into what the narrative is.
Good.
No one believes this kid's guilty. And we're just waiting for him to come to court and say he's not guilty. And from what I know, he's pled not guilty.
But so, I think, Ellie, excuse me, before I forget, this is really important to say, and you already know this. You just pointed out the feds and the prosecution. Mm-hmm. Ellie and I have stated, and I've said it many, many times in my videos, Ellie has stated it, that we know if you look at the law, and we're not lawyers, but you don't have to be. And all these lawyers, influencers that come on YouTube, they never tell you this. USC Code 31, right there in the United States, legally, the feds, we've said it, Ellie and I many times, the feds can stage a violent event, particularly if a confidential informant has been compromised. Even in the Charlie Kirk case, Ellie, right? The feds can legally stage this violent event that we believe is so obvious it's staged, and we'll get into it. just like the IDAHO4. And then the feds will use national security, of course, but they'll also under exemptions they'll have exemptions under prosecutorial discretion and the Patriot Act. These are facts. So don't believe for a minute that the feds can't fake a violent event. And if you have any questions about these psyops that something could be staged, just go back to the law. Yes, they can do it at times, and we are seeing it. They're making it, it almost seems like monthly. They're producing these psyops, these major violent events, Ellie. The IDAHO4, the Charlie Kirk. I know we're not going to get into it today, but I believe Brian Thompson, the CEO, he was off camera. We didn't see any blood. He's in the WITSEC program as well. All these ones that are staged, Ellie and I, we believe that largely these people that supposedly are killed, they go into the WITSEC program, Witness Protection, baby. And it's called WITSEC, W-I-T-E-C. It's the United States have massive infrastructure for it, like in Puerto Rico, all over the United States, and probably in New Zealand as well. And we have one in Canada. Now I'll shut up. Back to Ellie. What have you got to say?
Okay, all I got to say is welcome, Faye. Thanks for dropping in.
Oh, I love Faye.
Look, I want to just kind of further to say, I think they're going to have to look for an out to get this kid. There's no way they're going to be no. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm really baffled as to why they're still sticking to that story. And Heavy Duty Country has lots of videos on stuff. Of course, there's no way. They've been shooting through like deer necks, elk necks, moose necks. Takes it right in half, like takes the head right off, right? So no way.
I'm sorry, Ellie. Where does I picked apart sometimes Candace Owens, and to me, she's part of Not So Obvious Establishment. She's an interesting person. She's beautiful. She's vivacious, but she's definitely CIA in my opinion. She's got CIA mugs, a sweater that says Candace Intelligence Agency. It's right in front of your face, folks. But where does she come into all this in terms of what we're saying that you'd have to have, you said like a thick deer neck, this is obviously staged. She keeps saying that Charlie's dead. So I don't know. How do we approach someone like Candace Owens? Sorry?
No, I think she's leading the investigation there's no way she can be convinced he's dead. Yeah. Like she should be the first one to say, I don't think he's dead, but she might not say that on air.
I agree.
So
exactly.
What she believes in her heart, we don't know.
Right.
We only know what she tells us on her show, but to a degree, she's got a lot of good, useful information, and to a degree, she's got a lot of misinformation. So yes. I don't, from the start, I'll put it to you this way. I'm not saying who, but I talked to someone who did the effects and stuff on stuff like that. Like they could get your arm cut off and you'd be splurting blood everywhere. And they said that was the fake, and that was faff. That was fake as fuck.
Really?
This
is a professional?
A professional who does special effects and who did with the military and stuff. They know that was totally fake, and that was totally fake as fuck because it was the worst, most sloppy work this person has seen in a while.
Interesting. Thank you for that. I'm glad our audience now, if anybody had any doubts, hopefully they're going to start removing those doubts that this was staged. It's all staged. They think you're stupid, everybody out there. And I know a lot of you are not stupid. You guys are very intelligent people. These are staged violent events, in our opinion, and we're going to keep digging in here.
Well, I think the lapel mic was what set off the special effects. And that guy in the audience who was triggering his sweater, he was smiling and triggering and pulling out his sweater, and then bam, Charlie's thing went, and then all his blood just came blowing up. But there's no entrance wound.
No.
And no one's buying any of that. So, and then not only that, the dummy they carried away didn't have freedom written on the t-shirt. There was no blood on anybody's hands. They all apparently were handling him and helping him, but no one had blood on their hands. Right. No one had blood on their shirts. There was no blood trail going to the truck.
Nothing.
The automatic, now there was an autopsy done by somebody not from that city. We think a federally appointed person. And it was not disclosed to anybody. And there was a quick funeral that, a day and a half later? Did you see the body in that casket?
No, just the hands.
Look, I've been around a lot of dead bodies. Okay, I've been to a lot of funerals. Most of my family has died, and
Sorry.
I've seen no problem, but I've seen dead people. Okay, those hands looked faff, totally faff. It looked like a fucking dummy.
There you go, folks.
Fake as fuck.
And to Ellie's point, as I've said, in all these staged violent events, you don't get a real public open casket ceremony. And one of the reasons is they're not dead, if we're correct, so you can't exhume the bodies. We don't have, as Ellie almost alluded to, there's been no leaked autopsy. How about photos? You know you'd get in the Charlie Kirk case if it was authentic.
Mainstream media
for it, right? Yeah. And you would get, even on the IDAHO4, which we'll later get into more, Ellie, is there was even an EMS guest that I was on a show, and the guest even spoke. I don't agree with everything he says, but I do agree with his experience. He was even waiting to see the proper autopsy. It's like almost like a report card, almost like a cue card to show you the injuries. Instead, they show you something else, claiming there's these injuries, but they don't show you the actual injuries properly on this. So it's all bullshit. It's all staged. Nobody's died. Kirk is living in a beautiful, probably villa somewhere. I'm guessing New Zealand. Believe me, he's having a wonderful lifestyle. He could be getting plastic surgery, right? Tyler Robinson, we're going to talk about. The guy already looks like, to me, he's had possibly facial surgery. They picked him out probably on purpose, partly because of his look. Who knows? And on we go. There was somebody other face I was going to mention. But anyway, it's Koberger, as you know. This guy, to me, looks like a Fed, and he acted like a Fed. He was the perfect actor, and he'll probably get more plastic surgery, and he'll be living, and he's outside the United States. He is alive, in our opinion.
Well, Koberger is. But
of course.
But he's supposed to be in prison, right?
All right, sorry. Yeah, but we don't believe he's even.
But Charlie Kirk, no, I don't believe, in my opinion, I don't believe he's dead. I never did. Not from the start. When my friend told me that, because I told her, I said, that looked really fake. Because I've seen, real injuries and fake ones. And that was just too overdone. Yeah. And she said that was fact. It was fake.
What got me, Ellie, is I never did watch the video, mind you, but a Navy SEAL, sometimes they will tell you the truth. These people, sometimes they've got to be careful. They probably can't tell you half what they really know and suspect. But apparently he said you don't react that, and this is what I already thought, but he said you don't react that way, the way Charlie did.
Like this?
Basically, shot and he barely even moved. And then he had to get tackled off his chair, as we know, to really be off his chair in the first place. And isn't that convenient? Because you probably got a trapdoor underneath. I'm not the only one that said it. Yeah. And then, as you said before, they lift a fucking dummy. Brand new shoes, by the way. Charlie never wore a white shirt in his presentations, but that day he did because, as you know, white shows up blood. He always wore black and gray.
Days after, they tore up that whole area and re-cemented it.
They sure did. They sure did. That tells you everything you need to know.
There's just so much fake as fuck about that. As same as the IDAHO4. They tore down that house during the trial. Like who does that?
Nobody.
Exactly. It's all fucking so rushed. It's so set up in advance and rushed through that they're not thinking about how they're rushing it through. Kash Patel looks like a total incompetent idiot right now. To me, I think he's a total fucking plant, and he's an idiot because he's totally fucked this case right up.
Interesting.
Even if he came out now and said, "Well, we just told you all that because we can't give you the details without hurting the case," or whatever, then okay, fucking do it, say it, right? But no, they're buckling down. No, this kid did it with a 30-06, and Charlie drank a lot of milk, and his next off the bullet, and fuck you. Come on.
And Kash Patel, I'm not going to say negative. I don't want to say negative shit about Kash Patel for certain reasons, but just know, it's acting. I believe he's saying, Charlie's my brother, and I'll see you in Valhalla. Well, Valhalla, as we know, it's a Norwegian saying for people, and it's a wonderful saying, and it's for people that died in an act of bravery and courage. So can we surmise that is Charlie possibly in actually New Zealand? And the other reason I said that, Ellie, and I've said it to you before in our audiences, is the Tyler Robinson, or no,
Koberger?
no, sorry, Kash Patel. What case am I just referring to? Sorry.
That was Charlie Kirk case.
Charlie Kirk, sorry. Tyler Robinson, yes. Which picture was taken in front of his computer.
Yeah.
I believe it was an FBI photo. It's an authentic photo.
I don't know. We don't know if it was. Did they put that in the TV screen, or was that a legitimate photo?
Oh, that was all on TV. It was.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. The FBI put that out, so they may have fucked with it before. We don't know how authentic that photo is.
Okay, fair enough. But I think
that from the start, like I do, find it really. But I mean, that would be the perfect thing to have. For the FBI to just throw that in there and then release that picture to all the media who are going to show it everywhere.
Yes, but they didn't know that we would connect because
No,
they know what that laptop shows.
They counted on it.
Right. They know what the laptop shows.
Yeah.
But but we, the public, start talking about people that really dig in, and they say, wait a sec, that's Goat Island in New Zealand that he's standing in front of. That's significant. Hello. Go back to Kash Patel's comment. I'll see you in Valhalla. What does Valhalla mean? The saying, right? And could Charlie Kirk actually be set up in a WITSEC program in New Zealand? You better believe, in our opinion, he could be. And he definitely is alive, in our opinion. So
I think so. Hey, Jacqueline, how are you? And Faye.
Hi, Jacqueline.
And love the hot sister. Absolutely gangsta. Oh, thanks. The hat. Okay.
Yes, gangsta.
Yeah, I'm a gangsta, Ellie. But yo. But yeah, no, that the whole I'm not buying anything from start to finish on that case. And Val Venus, like the ex WWE wrestler, used to come out with the towel on, the porn star.
Yes.
Okay. He's been all over X since this all happened, talking about this guy who's flicking his, because he thought he was shooting him with a palm gun.
Oh.
And I'm like, that would burn your palm. That would burn your finger. Like, that would hurt. I don't see it. Unless they were shooting a dart. But that's not what happened. He was triggering. He was setting to trigger the neck thing, which set off the in my opinion, okay? That set off all the special effects in Charlie's neck. And that's why he had to be tackled right away, or people were going to start seeing that it was fake as fuck, because everybody's cameras were on it and they knew that. So Buddy tackled them right away. Why would you? You would injure them more.
Yes, exactly.
And then again, we go into the no blood anywhere. None of them had blood on them. They were all doing weird shit. Buddy was turning off other buddies' radio in the back. I got all these videos and all this stuff of people who have been really watching the crowd that was around Charlie. Probably 100 gigabytes of Charlie's stuff.
Woo.
I got about another 20, 25 gigabytes of Erica stuff.
Awesome.
Now, I'm not doing anything with her right now, but I will be doing a video about Erica coming up.
Cool.
But it's not to attack her, but it's to make things, bringing things to light so other people can make their own informed decisions. I don't tell people what to believe, right? A lot of people don't like her. A lot of people like her. So they're going to have different reactions to learning what they learn. But there's certain things that come from certain sources that I don't trust. The People's Voice is one of those. Now, they do get some good stuff, I will admit, but they take a little nugget, okay, and they'll make this big, huge fucking story out of it. And all these speculations and shit, you never actually see the video of what they're talking about. And it's pretty important that you see what they're talking about.
Who's the People's Voice?
Yeah. That guy's an AI. All he ever does is this. He never shows his other side. He never, nothing. No sneeze, cough, no wiping his nose, nothing.
Wow.
He's total AI, right?
Yeah.
I think that's how they get away with putting out a lot of what they put out.
I think so.
Because there's no one to actually arrest. The guy is AI.
Yeah. Yes.
So anyway, I do watch what they say and take it with a grain of salt, because a lot of what they say is like totally out there, speculation. And, so and I'm going to get into it in detail about Erica and how I feel about her as well.
I'll be looking forward to that.
And maybe I'll get a section of video from you on your opinions of her and what you think of, everything that's transpired since.
Sure.
So we could do that. I could put it in the.
I've been trying to set up a wine and cheese, nice romantic dinner with Erica someday, but I haven't come close to getting the right connections, apparently.
Yeah, you might get a better green screen that way. But yeah, no, I think it's important that we do a video about her. But right now,
absolutely,
the whole Tyler Robinson thing, I'm just no, and I can't imagine how they're not looking for a way out of this.
Exactly, sure they are.
A technicality that they have to let him go, or they find some kind of nugget that proves that he didn't do it. Like maybe the fact that Charlie didn't get shot with a 30-06, and you're claiming you're doubling down and swearing to God that he did shoot a 30-06. But if that guy was not killed with a 30-06, that kid's automatically innocent.
Why?
Roof or not?
Yeah, excuse me, Elliot. Unfortunately, I never worked for the Navy SEALs. I wish I did, I don't want to talk too much about covert military forces out there, and I respect them a hell of a lot, and there's reasons for that. But no, I was just wondering, why do you think they have to double down, and why did they start with this certain caliber of a gun?
We're talking about we're talking about the FBI. Okay. B, we're talking about a setup, in my opinion, that was so well planned in advance that they actually had problems carrying it out because they didn't want to wait the proper timelines for things to evolve. And they just kind of blurted it all out at once, and everyone went, whoa. No. And nobody I know, and the guy walked around at Charlie's memorial in that big arena where, like, I don't know what, 100,000 people showed up or some shit like that.
Yeah.
He went around that whole arena, and nobody in that place believed that this Charlie fucking kid's guilty. Right. Nobody there. And that was at the guy's memorial where people loved the guy.
Yeah.
I thought he was pretty awesome too, but I didn't agree with everything he said. But I mean, he was really, he was a good engager. He was a good debater. And he was very well traveled. He was very well versed. Sure. Probably high dietic memory because he pulled shit out of his. I would need 6 months to look it up in books for what he just pulls out of his fucking ass, right?
Sure.
So, no, he was an amazing guy, and he got shot, giving people who are told that they're telling us we're fascists. He gives them a platform. They call him a fascist, yet he gives them the chance to say whatever beef they want. And he'll debate them on it. The whole thing, prove me wrong, right?
That's right. So,
I don't know. And then just how well all went down. I'm like, look, why didn't he just say, look, this is getting too much. I can't, my body, can't keep up or whatever. I'm going to get out of it. And just stick him behind TPA USA why didn't they do it that? Why did they have to do this whole elaborate?
I don't know why, but I know to your point, Ellie, that would have been the right thing for Charlie to do. And we don't want to sound too self-righteous, but this is reason, logic, common sense. And it's unfortunate that, as Ellie's bringing up, what we're bringing up, that for whatever reason, they decided, in our opinions, to totally stage this thing, keep Charlie alive. He's out the back door, and he was a very important person. Mm-hmm. His father was, as you said, built Trump Towers. So Charlie,
he helped, like he was a architect. So he helped Donald Trump and someone else.
Thank you. And we know Charlie was like this with Trump. We know Erica is like this with Trump and the administration. They're all, it's one, as I keep saying, one big incestuous intelligence operation. They sleep together. They hang out together. They got kids, friends with their other kids. These people are like this. So they're not going to allow, in my opinion, anybody to somehow magically be able to shoot from the crowd and take out a Charlie. And if it did happen, we would see the remnants, right? And they wouldn't cover it up. We would see real blood. We'd see blood on the shirt, as Ellie alluded to earlier and said. we'd see blood on the people certainly handling them as well. And we didn't see any of that, folks. And that's the huge tell. So.
And the guy they've got in custody totally could not have done it.
Exactly.
Now, the funny thing is this too, and I watched a video with a guy who was saying that there was definitely 2, but a possible 3 shooters on different roofs. And he's pretty sure that Charlie was on the wrong roof to do the shooting that they claimed he did. Huh. But I have to go back to that video and watch it again, compare it against the evidence that these Phoebes are putting out, because it's all askew. It's all fucked up. And the point is that there was no 30-06 bullet.
No, 30-06, that's it.
Yeah. So how are they going to... They're going to have to Koberger this guy, pay him.
Yeah.
You plead guilty. And then what? Just walk out the back door with a bunch of millions of dollars. And actually, the guy who Charlie refused the 150 million from, they say it was Netanyahu, but it wasn't. It was someone. It was a Jewish influencer. They went and gave $1 million to Charlie Robinson's parents right about the time he got arrested, just after he got arrested.
Wow, interesting.
Charlie turned them down, so they went and paid off the person. So look, there's a lot of backroom shit going in on this, and I've got reason to believe what I have in my head as a very possible scenario. None of us know for sure. The only ones who are FBI and Trump and the kid and whoever else is involved in this bullshit. Yes. Which I think all of the TPU staff were.
Sure.
In my opinion, from what I was seeing, how they reacted right after and right before he got shot.
Sure.
Everything.
They'd have to know.
He was flicking he jumped over the barriers and over the table. He was one of them.
Yeah, I think so.
Look, this is all so fast. And I'm sorry to anyone who totally buys into this. You better look over all the evidence with a seriously impartial eye, because by being partial, you're eliminating yourself from you are eliminating yourself from the truth.
Yeah.
Because all you know is the narrative you've been fed by people who are corrupted.
Exactly. And Ellie, I love how earlier, this is what it was all about, and you have amazing contacts, and you could see it for your own eyes. It's all special effects, folks. It's special effects to stage this violent event scenario. It's a fucking psyop, in our opinion. And it's important to bring truth and transparency, again, without sounding overly righteous. We're trying to provide truth here, folks, because these we know are huge, huge events. They're influencing millions of people. And don't you want millions of people to dig in and really know the truth so they don't continue to do these hideous, violent events where people aren't even actually dying that are supposed to be dying? They're in a fucking WITSEC program. They're relocated. They're out of the United States, folks, and you've been hoodwinked. And people need to wake up. You don't have to buy into it, nor should you, because otherwise this is going to continue. And we know, Ellie, the feds, some of them, the elites, the global financial predators, we see it throughout history, particularly nowadays. They'll piggyback on these major event crises, whether it be 9/11, the Charlie Kirk case, and they will try to override our human rights and fundamental freedoms and make money. But particularly, we don't want them to override our rights, human rights, and fundamental freedoms. So let's dig in. Let's call a spade a spade. And Charlie Kirk, you said it right. It's all special effects, largely, man.
I'm not believing any of this. And the fact that these Egyptian planes are for real, that Candace was talking about, okay? I told you right away, a plane took off from the airport within the hour of him being shot and turned the transponders off. That's exactly what those Egyptian planes admitted they were doing. Who was on that fucking plane?
That's the $50 million question. Exactly. Who was on that plane? I think I know, but I think I can guess based on what we've talked about. And
like I said, some of what Candace has is good. But she still believes Charlie's dead, and I just can't believe how she believes that. Yeah. Now, like I said, unless she just can't say in public, I don't believe that he's dead. or she's afraid to say it because she probably would get rubbed out. I can say it till the cows come home. I've only got 5 people to watch my channel. They don't give a shit about me.
That's right.
I might get 50 views on my channel. They don't care about me. But Candace Owens, with almost 6 million viewers.
Yeah. And I'll give you an example, Ellie, of I won't even mention his channel name. He's a good-looking black guy. He has a huge channel. He's got almost 300,000 subscribers. He may have hit 300,000. So it's a big channel, right? Mm-hmm. Especially in the true crime genre. Yeah. He just covers, as far as I know, Charlie Kirk, at least for the last several months, all on Charlie Kirk, puts out amazing information. But this guy's, apparently he just wants to make money. And I like the guy. I was on a live on the end of one of his lives. He was inviting guests. I came on. But he doesn't want anybody, he said this before our live, but he doesn't want anybody to mention that Charlie is alive. Even saying your opinion, that it's my opinion that Charlie's alive. He had a guest say that, and he said, no, you can't say that. He says, I get demonetized anytime if I say Charlie's, not alive, or if anybody else says it. So he's all about making money instead of really telling you the truth. That at least say it, and you've just shown it. He showed all the camera angles we talked about. He said no blood on the shirt, like we said. He said there's no blood on the people that picked him up, or maybe he didn't say that part, but he showed the shoes are brand new. Charlie was walking in the dirt. So you've already shown that Charlie can't be dead. Just say it, man. And you can monetize your other videos. If you can't monetize those ones, so be it. At least you're telling the truth, man. You've made a good living. But, some people, money's number one, and they're going to sell out, and it is what it is. I'm not saying he's definitely a good guy still overall. It's just disappointing, I hope I don't.
There's a lot of people like that. They do this for money, so that to them, they don't want to rock that boat. Me, I don't give a shit. I don't get a dime from anybody. You know how much I've made on Rumble in about the 12, 13 years I've been on there?
I hope about $12,000.
$6. $6 fucking dollars.
Wow. Shit.
American. But still,
good.
$6 fucking dollars.
Yeah.
In like 12 years. I don't care about money. I never collected a dime from them either. I probably never will, but it's not about money for me.
Truth. Is it about truth and transparency?
Truth, transparency, and what I want other people to open their minds to do what I do and say, okay, in my opinion, it's this way. And they don't have to agree the same thing I do, but I'm just saying, if you look at something and really look at something and look behind and check the alibi of the alibi, make sure everyone's got friggin' alibis and everything checks out, cross all your T's and dot all your I's, and then you can come up with a pretty good opinion of what's really going on. And this whole Charlie case doesn't take much more than a couple of days looking through all these videos people have put out, like totally amazing stuff. And I've got a lot of it saved. And like I say, like probably over 100 gigabytes in all.
Good.
And still they're doubling down to the story. I thought they were going to let go of it, but no, they doubled down on it.
Do you want to, excuse me, Ellie, do you want to get into, have we covered enough of Charlie and Tyler Robinson? Do you want to get into the IDAHO4 now?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right.
Another fake as fuck.
Yes. By the way, before we really get into the information, Ellie, as I said to you before we went going on this live, Ellie's up for this too. We want to, should I use the word collaborate, or do you have a different word, Ellie, that we want to do?
Yeah.
We want to collaborate. We're
interested in collaborating with somebody.
Yeah, we love challenging people, but respectfully, we would like to collaborate with any YouTube creators out there or other platforms to come on and let's have an open debate or just exchange ideas with Ellie and hopefully myself. I'll be invited, and we can have an amazing time. We don't always have to agree. We can agree to disagree at times, but Ellie and we will bring up, I think, that here is the evidence that it was a staged crime scene by and large. No evidence of an actual crime taking place, in our opinions. No body bags.
Well, I'm not saying that, but what we were told is not how things work.
Thank you.
And we've got video proof of that.
Thank you. And just real quick, Ellie, some of the channels, I mean, I could go on for hours of channels that, in my opinion, have sold out. But I just wish, I like some of these people, that they're amazing creators. Anna Elise, I think she calls herself 10 to 1 Life. Her real name, Anna Elise, huge channel. You probably heard of her, Ellie. She thinks apparently that Koberger did it by the sounds of it. Certainly doesn't tell you the obvious. It was a staged crime scene. Doesn't talk about the Whitsick angle. None of that. Christina Ray, I love her channel. She won't tell you that apparently either, in my opinion. Joshua, Courtroom Confidential. I like the guy. He's a great guy. Former prosecutor, defense attorney, right? His YouTube channel is growing like no other YouTube channel in true crime. He doesn't tell you any of this. He believes Koberger is the lone assassin. The violent event really took place. All these stabbings. Joshua, I would say, Joshua, come on, dude. Here's the truth. Let's tell the real truth, Joshua. Josh from Surviving the Survivor, Ellie. I wanted you to do an edit for me if you would, because Nancy Grace rightly scolded him. It was hilarious. She said, Joel likes to use the word unaliving for the algorithms on YouTube, right? So his channel just continues to get all these subscribers, or help to get subscribers. And Joel keeps using the word unaliving. Nancy Grace said, what did you say?
A self-unaliving, as we say on YouTube, that after he made that declaration, Governor Josh Shapiro was asked about it and simply said, look, there's no new... A self-unaliving, as we say on YouTube, that after he made that declaration, Governor Josh Shapiro was asked about it and simply said, look, there's no new evidence. It's got to stay as a self-unaliving. I'm sure you saw that exchange with a reporter, Brian Henton, and Governor Shapiro. Just curious what you think of that.
Number one, you're getting on my last nerve. Who said self-unaliving? Where did that come from? You mean it's suicide?
Yes, that's it. It's a YouTube thing, Nancy.
You make your teeth hurt. That's a sign of a heart attack. BTW.
Unaliving? So I thought that was really hilarious that Nancy, of all people, Nancy had to put Joel in his place. At least Nancy Grace, even though she doesn't tell you the truth, in our opinion, largely of the IDAHO4, she thinks Koberger did it. But Nancy at least knew enough to don't use the word unaliving.
No, you know why? It's because she gets paid a salary from the network that she works for. That network doesn't care if she says murder or unaliving, because they're going to make money out of YouTube no matter what. Right?
Interesting.
There's automatic deals that go on with those people.
Thank you for that.
He works for a major network. This is not like some private Nancy Grace channel. She's a weirdo anyway. But
thank you. And
I get your point. Yeah.
Two more channels, just the top of my head, and they're written down, Ellie. But I like A.R. Hayes at times from A Convict's Thoughts. Great guy, turned his life around. Was in gangs. I would, if A.R. Hayes, somebody like him would agree to collaborate with us, I'd love to just pose some questions to A.R. Hayes and listen to his thoughts and say, A.R., are you still behind that this atrocity actually took place? Do you really believe stabbings took place? Or, A.R. Hayes, can you admit at this stage of the game that perhaps at least Ellie and I are correct, and other people that are onto this theory, that this was a staged crime scene? Those students are most likely alive. Can you admit that, A.R. Hayes, as a possibility? Unfiltered Lucky, another great creator, right? Great channel. And he collaborates at times with A.R. Hayes and other people. Unfiltered Lucky, are you still subscribing that atrocity took place here? Or can you, again, listen to our theories and collaborate with us? Come on Ellie's platform and or mine, but Ellie starts with Ellie's platform. And let's have an open debate. Let's talk, man, and bounce our ideas off one another. Are you guys willing to do that? Show the balls, have the courage, and come on with us. And let's collaborate together. And our channels will explode. It's not going to hurt you guys. We're going to be respectful, and we can agree to disagree, or maybe we'll agree the whole time throughout our live interviews. Anyway, I just wanted to get on a tangent there. Thank you for listening, everybody.
Well, we know Pepperoni won't be collaborating with us.
Real name, Jay Embry, Pavarotti. That's
right. Yeah, Panzerotti, yeah. So, basically, I'm really... looking at that case, that new evidence that I brought to you,
let's talk about that new evidence.
I failed to see where they got enough to get this kid to plead guilty. This is why I mean this has to be a FAF episode, because no dude would be anxious to plead guilty to either 4 first-degree or second-degree murders to start with.
No,
Especially
exactly.
when they had nothing but a stupid nice sheet they couldn't even prove was his that had his thumbprint. Well, it probably had 100 other people's thumbprints on it too.
Yeah.
Are they all in court under, charge?
No.
And now they're saying there's 2 people that went in the house. So why isn't there 2 defendants? And there's 6 people that walked by those cameras. Why isn't there 6 defendants? There's so many
Great
inconsistencies.
question. Well,
Why the hour-long wait to call the police?
exactly.
Why, when the police got there, now here's where this footage comes in, and I'll be playing that.
On location of your emergency.
Hi, something is happening. Something's happened in our house. We don't know what.
Tell me exactly what's going on.
One of the roommates has passed out, and she was drunk last night, and she's not waking up.
Okay.
Oh, and they saw some man in their house last night. Can I just tell you what happened pretty much?
What is going on currently? Is someone passed out right now?
I don't really know, but pretty much at 4 a.m.
Okay, I need to know what's going on right now if someone is passed out. Can you find that out?
Yeah, I'll come. Come on, we gotta go check. She's passed out. What's wrong? She's not waking up.
Okay.
Hello?
Is she breathing?
No.
Okay. I have already sent the ambulance and law enforcement. Stay on the line.
Okay. There's a police here right now.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to let you go since he's there with you and can help you.
Okay, thank you.
During this,
Good.
you can see that when the police come up, these kids are, they're acting scared, but it doesn't seem right. And it doesn't say reenactment. So this is actual footage from their body cams. And you can see the thing shaking. When he runs in. You watch when he runs in the house. There's nothing on no blood dripping down the wall. There's no blood all over the house, like they said.
Nope.
Okay. When these kids were on the phone, and 2 different kids were on the phone with them, not the same time, but like two different times, and not one of them said, "Oh my God, there's blood everywhere. They must be dead." All they kept saying was, "She's not answering," or "They're not answering. They're not responding. We think they're dead."
Yes, Ellie, it was Hunter Johnson, whose girlfriend is Emma Bailey, if you recall. Hunter Johnson, the tall guy, and he had his hands in his pockets in front of the cops in front of the house. He was the guy that told the cops he took a knife from the kitchen counter because supposedly he's scared. Mm. The cops would have obviously interrogated him and want to know all about this. If
and
it really
took that knife.
Yeah, exactly. And then he was the one that checked on Xana lying on the ground, checked her pulse. And to Ellie's point, so I'll add, you would have seen blood, the cops and the camera, we would have all seen blood on Hunter's pants, shoes, his hands at the very least. And we didn't see any of that. And to Ellie's point, he never mentioned blood to the 911 caller. Obviously, if it really happened, you would think for sure Hunter would have mentioned that to the 911. Then the 911 caller dispatcher would say, well, how did she get stabbed? Or where did she get stabbed? Give her mouth to mouth, something, right? None of that took place because there was no crime.
Yeah, that's true.
In our opinion, there was no, I think it's obvious, no crime scene, folks. It was all bullshit stage, man.
Now, I know some stuff was cut out of that, but I mean, the point is this: if there was blood, as much blood as that they were saying that it came down in the outside walls of the house, then that whole, when he first walked in, that whole area would be covered in blood.
Yes, yeah.
He didn't see blood anywhere. He didn't even see blood on the banister when he's running up the stairways. But I don't know which set of stairs it was, but they said there was a couple bloody handprints on the banister that were not his, yet were never matched or checked out. Why?
Great point, Ellie. We're the only people bringing these facts up, as far as I know, as actual creators, whether it be Facebook that you're on, YouTube, right? We're the only people that I'm aware of that really hammer this home. Now, Birdie, to his credit, he always sunk his teeth more into that Whitsick angle, he would say, the odd time. But then he'll go off on other theories, and that's fine. And Birdie had a guest on. He never questioned her, by the way. He just let this woman go on saying, she thinks there's 2 assailants that did the stabbings. And Bertie, I wish, in retrospect, Bertie, why don't you ask these people some hard questions? Why don't you ask her, really 2 assailants? Well, you know, I used to think that this was an extraction removal operation. I mean, again, no body bags, no leaked raw crime scene photos. And now Ellie and Jason, Estes crime mates, are saying, well, there's be blood everywhere. Hunter Johnson would have blood on him and be mentioning blood on the 911 call. Bertie could have said any of that, and should have, in my opinion. If you want the real truth out to millions of people, just say that to the woman. Ask her a couple hard questions. So Bertie, you're another buddy, another person I'd like to collaborate with. I've reached out to you. You promised me 3 times for an interview, and you backed out, dude. It's time to man up, in my opinion, and we'll have a great time. And Ellie will be very respectful to you too, Bertie. I hope you have the courage one day to do just that. And let's knock it out of the park. Anyway, thank you, Ellie.
But anyway, no, like the whole him pleading guilty thing was really the stupidest of all.
And he had duper's delight. You said this before, Ellie, in so many words. He had duper's delight almost the whole way in court. When the judge is demonizing you, and rightly so, if you really did this crime, and Olivia Gonzalez is, you know, swearing at Brian Koberger, viciously calling him names, and rightly so, if you really believe that he did this quadruple homicide. But you better believe, in our opinion, at least my opinion, Olivia Gonzalez, that was all acting, bad acting. She knows the truth largely of this case. She knows her daughter's alive in a witness protection program. Her parents would have at least told her. Her parents are in on it, behind at least, you know, the fact that they know their daughter was extracted by U.S. Marshals, I believe. Maddie as well, and Maddie bought a new house. Christy G told you, and Ellie have said, and I have gone over that in interviews, right? And we played her clips, and we might play it again for my channel.
No, I'm not going to dig that up. But you can look in our past 20 videos, and we put it in every one. So that was a dead giveaway. Plus, when she thought she was off camera, and she said, "Well, we got to do this properly."
Oh yeah, that's right.
Remember, like, it's just strange shit like that. It was like totally off the wall. Makes it all look faff. It was all faff anyway, and I can't believe the kid pled guilty. That's why I know it's just a nothing big setup.
Yes.
It was a staged thing, and they just got this guy to plead guilty. I bet you he's probably in Valhalla with fucking Charlie right now.
I agree. The IDAHO4. The IDAHO4, in which those 4 are alive, they weren't stabbed to death. Kaylee's nose, in our opinion, wasn't busted by, whether it be Koberger or gangbangers. You know, this Pavarotti J. Embry thinks that he believes Steve G. apparently that Kaylee's nose was busted by, but he thinks gangbangers did that. Really? Aryan Knights, Aryan family are going to punch and break Kaylee's nose? Why? Why would you even do that, man? If you're going to kill her and take her out, they're going to go for organs, right? Generally, from my understanding. I mean, come on, they know how to kill people. And why would you stab her over 30 times? And Xana's apparently got, 30 some odd stab wounds as well, and you can't have an open casket ceremony because they're just, I guess, so stabbed and mutilated. That's what we're going to believe. And Ethan Chapman was the only one that had a private funeral service. This stud, 6'3", 6'4", Ethan Chapman. You better believe, in our opinion, he wasn't stabbed to death either, folks. And that's the good news. We provide you good news on the IDAHO4. It wasn't a tragedy, man. The only tragedy is we've been lied to and hoodwinked by FBI, in our opinion, CIA corporate media, and some local law enforcement. And the million-dollar question I have, Ellie, because I don't have all the answers, I'm not saying I do, is why? Why were those students, some of them, targeted, apparently? Because we know, if our theory's right, they've disappeared. Why?
Well, you and I know that there was an investigation, a mass investigation going on to all the Aryans in that neighborhood.
Yes.
And they very well could have been informants, or their parents could have been informing and been involved in that, and they may have had to have been taken out because the Aryans found out.
I've thought about that. That's a likely scenario, and it has to do with drug running.
It's not. I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm saying that's a possibility.
Yes.
According to other people who have done the video and did the legwork there, to find out all that information. I have to give credit to George Webb for that one, but
yeah. And as you know, Ellie, by staging a violent event, if you look at it, it was successful.
Yeah.
The U.S. Marshals, we believe, rescued them. That's amazing. The U.S. Marshals, they do their job very well most of the time. They weren't going to fucking stand idly by when they had surveillance around the house, knowing these students could be potential targets, right? They would have pre-planned an extraction removal operation, most likely. We saw that play out, staged crime scene. And then, look at it, Ellie, they had the successful bust in Washington State, I forget, about a month later, of busting, very high-level gangbangers, apparently, some high-level cartel members. So staging this violent event for the reasons that they had was successful.
Worth it. Yeah.
Exactly.
And you're not going to lose witnesses that way, right?
That's it. Exactly.
But why are the parents still living there? That's what I don't understand. Because the gangs would go after the parents just to get back at the kids, or vice versa.
Well, if you think, but if some of the gangbangers believe now, because they've been fed by CIA corporate media, other gangbangers may believe that, well, maybe these students are dead. And the parents are probably protected anyways. Like, even around that area, I'm sure they got surveillance around them. Gangbangers will realize the feds, presence in those areas as well and what they're doing. They'll know what those parents are up to. And I think the parents are, I could be wrong, but I think they're just well insulated, protected in those areas. And maybe I've heard that Steve G is going to move anyways to Puerto Rico or Costa Rica. I don't know if it's true, but I wouldn't be surprised.
With all the money he grifted, I could see how.
Exactly. They'll move sometime.
Oh yeah. But no, there's just certain things that don't make sense with our theory. But at the same time, I've seen in life where nothing made sense, but yet it was what it was, right? And
what doesn't make sense in our theory, Ellie? Do you think that people might think that doesn't make sense?
Well, that originally that was said that the kids were maybe attacked or removed, extracted because the parents were stool pigeons. But why are the parents still there in the same fucking houses? Like this, those kind of things don't match, don't add up. But we might not know the real reason for the extraction. That's the only difference.
We're speculating.
I'm assuming it's got to do with that mass investigation of all those Aryan Brotherhood, because the cops wanted to take them all down at once, not just a couple.
Yes, good point.
Because you pull out the bigs, the little ones will go like ants. They'll go to war.
Yeah.
And they'll go after anyone who might testify against the bigger ones, right? So they got to take down the whole community at one time. And if they found out that these kids were talking, just like what that girl asked her at the, what did you tell him, Kaylee? Oh, I told him everything.
Yes, Maddie said that to Kaylee, exactly.
That could have been about the gangs. That could have been about,
Yes. And then Kaylee.
No, we can only assume, right?
No, we're speculating, yeah. And Kaylee, after that, Ellie, remember, I kept saying she was texting constantly. Who the heck is she texting? And it wasn't her boyfriend, because her boyfriend, they had just seen him drinking, right, leading up to the grub truck. So who she keeps texting? And I believe it was I'm speculating here, but I would bet it was a private driver, a U.S. Marshal setup for the private driver, and Maddie and Kaylee never even made it back home. It was all pre-planned, and they got those girls the hell out of there. And this makes sense. And we still have no evidence.
They could have wheeled them out on stretchers with the sheet pulled over them. You don't know who's under that sheet or whether they're dead or alive.
That's right.
That's the perfect way to get them out. But the point is this. These kids that found the bodies didn't mention blood at all.
No, that's insane.
Yet there was so much fucking blood. It was coming down the front of the house. Give me a fucking break.
Exactly.
And then
I'm only smiling, folks. It wouldn't be funny if this really did happen. There were stabbings. Folks, I'm just laughing because it's just listen to what Ellie's saying. It sounds so ludicrous. There's no blood mentioned. Hello.
So there was this whole violent scene where 4 kids were brutally stabbed to death, probably fought back. I would say Ethan probably fought back.
Fucking right.
So, and the other roommates were texting online for another 8 hours until they phoned the police, and then we're acting all scared. Didn't mention the blood, let alone your little baby character said. You think they'd mention the smell of it?
Yes, yes.
Right? The place would just reek of blood.
Yes.
Especially after 8 hours.
Fucking right.
They didn't mention blood, just they're not responding. They won't wake up. We think they're dead. Okay. Do they have stab wounds all over in their neck? Are there knives sticking out of their back? Is there anything obvious we should know? No, they just won't. They just won't wake up.
Yeah, you're supposed to tell the dispatcher what the hell you're actually seeing, not just a person lying down, but blood, right?
And regardless of what was in the bedrooms, the cops went through the house and there was no blood, not anywhere.
That's
And they couldn't really have done a reenactment because those houses got torn down. They were banned. You couldn't get in them, and then they tore them down. So there was no friggin' reenactments. That was actual fucking footage from the fucking webcams of the cops. There was no blood anywhere, let alone dripping down the front wall of the house. This has all been bullshit from the beginning. I stand against all of it. Brian Koberger was obviously... You see, the whole thing, too, is that his data on his car. They know exactly where he was, where he went, and all this other crap.
Sure.
But who said he was driving his car? If he was part of this plan, he would let whoever drive his car to do whatever needed to be done so he could go to court, plead guilty, get his millions, and go.
Never thought of that.
Maybe to Valhalla. Who knows?
Yeah. I never thought of that.
He will go to WITSEC and never have to worry about it again because he'll have all this fucking money paid for by the DOJ or the AG, whoever.
DOJ, yeah.
All this fucking shit.
Yeah, I never
closed down, shut down, decommissioned like the day after the fucking Charlie Kirk shooting. All this fucking stuff. The same shit was happening in the IDAHO4 case.
Yes, yes. I never thought, Ellie, to your point, that Brian could have had, if it was Brian's car driving in the area.
It was.
It was set up. Okay, it was set. I never thought that it would be set up by, say, the feds, because that's who would do it. U.S. Marshals or
they just
FBI,
have a marshal drive his car around and make it look like
exactly.
nefarious, like he was doing nefarious things.
Yeah.
Apparently, there was an Uber driver driving the exact same color vehicle.
Oh.
So we don't know if that was Brian's car or the Uber driver by looking at it, but the data would say different.
Sure.
So the data did say Charlie's car was in that neighborhood, but not at the crime scene. So he would have had to have parked his car, walked there alone, or with one other person, I guess, picked up 4 more people to walk by the camera with, and then him and his buddy go in the house, slaughter everybody, silently, might I add. And then 8 hours later, people come out of the rooms and go, oh, whoa, my friends won't wake up.
It's crazy.
Oh my God, look at all the blood everywhere. It smells. Call the cops.
Exactly.
It's all so fake as fuck. I can't handle it.
I know.
People like Pepperonzi and all these other fucking people towing the line, carrying the water of the fucking globalists. I'm fucking fed up with it.
Exactly. You hear that?
Oh, bullshit. This
is why I love Ellie.
I'm telling you right now, they're in fucking witness relocation. Something went wrong. They had to be extracted.
Yes.
It wasn't something planned. This was on the fly.
Well,
Charlie,
I don't know.
I don't know. That's different.
Well, hold on. I don't know if this. I think I always thought once I stopped or thought of the extraction removal operation, Ellie, and other people started to think it. Some people. I always thought when I learned that again, Kaylee had photobombed her mom the day before. That tells me at least some of it was pre-planned as a potential possibility of extracting these students any day now.
You don't know the reason why why didn't all the other kids do the same thing? Just
to photobomb their mother?
Yeah. I think she was the only one who did.
Yeah, no, I know. It could be it could be the relationship. Kaylee had maybe more photos on her. I don't know. Yeah, good question. Maddie, you would think would photobomb.
Maybe by that time they might have known they had to be extracted.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they just found out within an hour or something.
Oh, okay.
No, it had to have been planned at least overnight.
Yeah.
Get all that together and pull it all together and get a bad guy and all this other fucking shit.
Yeah. Agreed.
To confuse everything with 6 guys walking by the fucking camera, yet they're claiming only one pulled it off. But, you know, there's all this other bullshit about it. So they got all these conflicting stories to keep all the ants fighting.
Yeah.
So no one really sees the bigger picture. It was fucking fake as fuck.
Yeah. But these YouTube creators, respectfully, they should by now understand the staging of this event, in my opinion.
Well,
they should see the staging. They should talk about this. And again, the boxes, North American Relocation Services, Ellie, to Bertie's credit, he found out, remember the boxes, the company, North American Relocation Services, that in itself is strange. But you might say, oh, it's a moving company, Jason. They're moving shit up. Okay. The company went down. You can never see the company again, 24 hours. That's strange. And then the real strange, and Ellie knows, the parent company is SIRVA, S-I-R-V-A. They've got a Schedule 48 audience, which allows the feds to move valuable assets to the government, that being confidential informants, government officials, right? People that are wanted dead. And this is all connected, folks, to the removal of the so-called victims' boxes. I mean, it's a federal operation, it shows you, folks, in our opinion. And the U.S. Marshals were in moving the boxes out. Not the parents, not a cleaning company. It was U.S. Marshals from day one. What does that tell you? Hello. Well, that tells you everything, I think, folks. You know?
It all kind of goes in together, right? But I'm just saying, I think the gangs found out that these kids were either, or thought they were ratting them out or something. These kids had to be extracted. And I think they probably did rat them out, because otherwise the FBI wouldn't exalt that kind of cash to do such an extreme thing, to make all these people think that these kids are dead.
Right.
And all this, and pull off this elaborate scheme that really didn't get pulled off really well.
No.
And no, there's more to it. Like I think they were informing, probably, maybe about drugs, maybe about other things. I don't know, but I know that through George Webb's investigation and the people he was talking to, they were investigating the entire Aryan community all at the same time.
That's serious, man. A serious, big, intense investigation there, folks. By the way, Ellie, before I forget, I just started thinking, you know, you've got 3 girls, right, as we know, that either got killed or disappeared, and we believe are disappeared and alive. But they're 3 girls. So is it far-fetched that if you have, say, one confidential informant, the other 2 girls would know, like, right? One girl's going to, you know, have loose lips, whether it be she's drunk, whether it be if Kaylee was a confidential. Maddie and Xana would know if Kaylee's the confidential informant, I believe. And then you got Ethan, who's the boyfriend, goes in and out. He may not have even been planned to be there that night, but he shows up. So
supposed to be, yeah. Right.
So the feds have to get rid of. They got to remove Ethan. You got to remove the girls who talk too much and the feds may know that all 3 girls have said too much now. And Maddie and Kaylee, they're basically one person. They're like this, right? And they're in the same room. So you got to get rid of both of them and remove them either way. So I think that's why all 4 of those people disappeared. And then you got Bethany and Dylan, who were left alive, and then all these crazy stories from them. Again, no blood mentioned, delaying the 911 call. It's staging, folks. It's because no crime happened, in our opinion. You know?
No, I think the only crime that happened was that was pulled off, and it was a fraud. It was a lie.
Exactly, a big lie, man.
Well, to me, that is more of the crime than anything. But I mean, if it's to save lives, I'm okay with it. But
yes, I agree. That's why I always say it was a good thing. The U.S. Marshals, we believe, probably saved their lives. And it's just up to us, YouTube creators and other people that have other platforms, or people leaving comments. You don't have to be a creator on social media, per se. But it's up to us to provide some truth and transparency, because unfortunately, the big creators and big platforms and networks, as you say, the Nancy Graces, right, Ellie, the Ashley Banfields, they're not going to tell you the truth. In our opinion, they're going to lie to you. It's quite obvious.
Oh, they're pushing the narrative because they're a network.
Exactly.
That's their job. That's how the networks make money.
But, you know, Joshua from Courtroom Confidential, he's no longer part of a network. He's an actual YouTube creator, as far as
How do you know he's not? How do you know they just didn't fake him leaving and then send him in like they did that other guy there? What's his name? He came in around the time of the convoy. And then when he went after all my friends.
Pat King?
No. He was I'll find out the name
Okay.
of it, but yeah, no, he was a real jerk off. No, these guys are sent in by the media to make it look like they walked away or quit or
Oh, I see.
they're broken away, and they are actually part of the network gathering information.
Thank you. That makes sense. Thank you, Ellie. That's
Yeah.
why I would, Joshua will never collaborate, in my opinion, with us from corporate.
No. He's pushing a narrative. That's what he gets
Sure
paid to
is.
do, right?
And that's just brainwashing, mind control narrative. That's all it is, folks. It's
A
not.
lot of these creators you're talking about that don't want to talk about it are making money doing this, so they don't want to rock that boat.
I see. Well, they can still make money coming on
No,
interview with you and I.
if you do shit like Birdie did or whatever, you get demonetized.
Oh, I see.
And they can demonetize individual videos, right?
Sure.
So I mean, it's just they don't want to rock the boat. Hey, Fred Cack, how are you? So like it's
Okay.
I don't buy any of this fucking crap. None of it.
I'm glad we were able to provide a lot of truth and transparency, I believe, on these two cases so far, Ellie, today.
Well, so
You've done
far,
a great job.
I just want something to break. Something's gonna have to give in this Charlie Kirk thing because that's just not right.
I'm looking forward to it.
I don't know. I just like I said, it might come down. It might actually come out while we're going into the wife, because she's now the one who took over for that organization he left behind when he died. When he exited stage left. So she might be the one, follow the money, right? It's you got to follow the money to find out.
I always wonder, Ellie, and maybe I'm out there and I'm totally wrong, but I wonder, how can Erica, in the preceding months and the year down the road or more, how could she really be on camera constantly and in charge of TPSA and everything that's involved when it's come out about her history, which I won't get into today. We'll get into that on future videos. People know about her history more now. When you look at that history, how can she get away now with operating in front of the public with TPSA? Isn't she going to be exposed that much more of who she is and who she works for?
No.
Or maybe they don't care, no?
There's the most of the population, believe her. Whatever she says is gold.
Oh.
And she's got all the media backing her, and she got Israel backing her, and she's got TPUSA all backing. They're all corrupt as fuck. And they've even let 3 of them go since this all broke. The father and son, they're both gone. McCoy's, they're both gone. So, I mean, no, a lot has happened, and, a lot's been exposed, right?
And by the way, I want to add a qualifier, Erica. I'm not saying you're a totally evil person. We all make mistakes.
We don't even know if all that stuff's true. We do know that she did have a child rescue organization.
Yes.
As it was called or labeled. That's all that, we only know what we're told online. So what we're told online could be total bullshit or total fact. It's up to us to take all the evidence and deduce for ourselves.
That's right.
Instead of just believing whatever, narrative has been fed to us.
I'd still love to have, a wine and cheese or just wine. It doesn't have to be romantic, but it would be cool with Erica and have a nice open conversation with her, because she is, I got to give her credit. She is one interesting woman. She's got an interesting history, interesting background. She's obviously very smart. I'm not going to say she's the best actress, but somebody's controlling her, I believe, and she's, Erica's probably answering to somebody, and that's the $1 million question. And maybe Erica will agree to have dinner with me one day.
Maybe, who knows? You never know. Maybe she'll call you up and go, "Oh, I heard you were."
That'd be wonderful.
You're a fucking dreamer.
I know. I'm a dreamer.
You couldn't even get cheese and lunch with me, so never mind.
Thanks a lot. Oh, that just hurt my intercostal.
But she is definitely an interesting topic for a video.
Yes.
There's so much about her, about how things have gone since, and what her reactions to things. People made a big deal about her forgiving this kid. I think it's a lot easier for her to do, knowing he didn't do anything to Charlie.
Yes.
She obviously knows Charlie's alive. She's not stupid. So it'd be easier for her to sincerely say, "Yeah, I forgive him," because she knows he didn't do anything. So there's no, right?
I'd be interested to know if Erica's not going to date me. I'm half joking. I guess I'm a dreamer. But will she ever get back together with Charlie and remove herself from the United States, or is that many years down the road? Or is she going to find a new love interest? You know, it'll be very interesting. I'm really interested to know what Erica's sort of next moves will be, whether, you know, with TPSA or love interests, perhaps, etc. Right? Because she likes men and she has kids, and you know.
We'll have to see. I mean,
yeah, fascinating.
Wait for her and see.
Yes.
But yeah, no. So I mean, that's basically it. It was just when I seen that video that guy put out, I went, "Where's all this fucking blood? Where?"
Exactly.
And why was it not even mentioned on the 911 call from 2 different people?
That's right.
No mention of blood, just that they wouldn't wake up. They thought they were drunk, passed out. Well, not. Oh my God, there's blood everywhere. They're stabbed and there's a knife sticking out of their neck. None of that shit.
None. I always said that too.
You know, so I mean, it's just, I know that there's parts they didn't show, but the point is that the parts that what they're claiming, that whole house was pasted in blood so badly that it was dripping down outside the front wall of the house.
That's right.
So this is all fake as fuck. And until somebody can really, you know, and now the houses are torn down.
Crazy.
Like, that was so stupid. The trial hadn't even been happening yet. We didn't have any plea from the kid yet. Actually, I think he was still pleading not guilty at that time. And they're tearing down the house. Like, what? Yeah,
and again, guys like Joshua from Courtroom Confidential, Nancy Graces, the Ashley Banfields, the guy that I have a problem with too, I call him a midget clown. I'm just being joking, but Brian Enton, right? Comes from big networks. You know, he's getting hundreds of thousands of views every day. He doesn't. They never question or tell you that it's wrong. You shouldn't destroy a crime scene of a house before the trial. And even the prosecution and defense were laughing amongst themselves that they got a 3D printed dollhouse. They know this is all for show, that you would never destroy a real crime scene in a house before trial. And they've got this 3D printed dollhouse and they're laughing because they know it's ridiculous, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, it's no, the whole point of the house being like, that's just not something you do. That Crown would not allow that normally.
No, exactly. Crown would.
So this all this stuff together, it just added up to be fake as fuck. I don't believe any of it. No. Not buying any of these influencers and their opinions. Exactly. Some of the people have put out good stuff, like that bubbly girl.
Bubbly Waters. Yeah,
Bubbly Waters,
hey, Bubbly, if you ever want to come on, you don't have to show your face, Bubbly. We know you don't show your face. If you want to show your face for once, great. If you don't, just collaborate with us.
Yeah, but she did some good work. I was impressed with some of her videos.
Love to have you on. Yeah, Bubbly. We'd love to have you on.
It's important that we get all the evidence out there and put everything out there and talk about it. That's how science is decided, isn't it?
Yes.
Or is this like during COVID where we just have to accept the science and shut the fuck up? I can't shut the fuck up. I don't do that well.
That's right.
So, no, I want to talk about shit, and I want to talk about shit that ain't right. Didn't pass the smell test. There's no there.
That's right. That's right.
So why is your story here? Because it doesn't make any sense.
By the way, Ellie, do you think the cops, if it was a legitimate crime scene, especially bloodbath, would you expect those cops to be mentioning blood during the body cam or some sort of reaction? And we didn't.
Well, they have to. And if it was that bad, like they were saying, they would have had to have backed out of the house or maybe cleared it and then backed out of the house and called detectives. They're not allowed to do fucking nothing.
That's right. And to your point, Ellie, that was another huge red flag. Some people know this. When the coroner finally showed up, and she showed up late, I believe.
5 hours later, yeah.
Yeah. The coroner would have removed all the cops, everybody from the house, and instead it was the opposite. The prosecution were in there, man. That doesn't happen with a quadruple homicide. The coroner lays her foot down, her or him, the coroner, and say, get the fuck out. And that didn't happen in this case, folks. And there's obviously a reason for that. Because there's no fucking crime, man.
Yeah.
In our opinion. No crime.
Yeah, well, no, that's my opinion. My opinion is that this was all staged, just like the other one. And I'm going to keep believing that till somebody can collaborate and maybe show me different, prove different to me.
Exactly.
Show me the house all bloody. Show me everything. Show me, you know, all the documents from the coroners and all this stuff. Show me the shit.
That's right.
Because the mainstream media is not showing us anything. And basically, we're getting little bits and pieces from all these different people.
That's right.
Who have torn through all the evidence that was released. And none of it's making sense. None of it's adding up. And none of it actually finishes through.
No, and I gotta say something, Ellie, and it's not to condemn devil's advocates, DA over there. He's got a great channel. Support him, everybody. He's got a great channel overall. Great guest. I was a regular guest, as Ellie knows, on that show for a while. And then my intercostal injury took me out of it. And then it was, you know, it runs a little bit late for me. So there's reasons I haven't been on. But Ellie doesn't know this probably, but DA showed a video. And I basically said that I could tell this person, I recognize the AI voice. They have a true crime channel that I always didn't buy into was AI. And they use the same AI voice, and they were showing little blood droplets that forensic scientists say that, well, this blood is cast off. It's legit, right? And it was little tiny blood on like a wall, you know, a few drops here and there. I'm thinking it's supposed to be a bloodbath, like Ellie talked about. The students would have been mentioning it's blood everywhere if it really happened, and it didn't happen, folks. So, you know, and then DA never showed that video again, of course, because he probably realized Jason's, I think, right. Estes Crime Maze, this video is not authentic. This is not blood from students being stabbed to death. So, you know, DA shows integrity that way. He didn't show that video again, which is good. So,
yeah, no, I just, no, I'm not buying none of this crap. So with what I've seen to what I'm told, it's different night and day. So until someone can clarify and maybe connect the dots, there's too many gaps and spaces in this fucking thing, and there's just stories bullshit.
Sure.
No different from the other case with Charlie Kirk. So
for sure,
you know, like I said, it's fake as fuck. That's my opinion, and I'm allowed to have it. And you're allowed to believe whatever you want to believe.
That's right.
Whatever you want to believe, whatever narrative you want to carry water for the globalists, you go ahead.
That's right.
I'm not telling you what to believe, but Jason and I have always kind of agreed on both these cases. Nothing added up, and nothing of the major things that matter most added up. So the funny thing was these stupid parents of what's her name, Christy G and
Steve
G, and they just couldn't shut their fucking mouths, and they kept sticking their foot in their mouth every time they opened it.
Yeah,
they gave away way too much shit.
I agree. Sure did.
So I want to, you know, I just no.
And he's made over 100, and apparently he's made, I believe it was either 150 at least or 175,000. He's probably over $200,000 now, folks, from the public. Think about that. You don't think that's going towards potentially Kaylee and Maddie's new lives? And Maddie just bought a new house?
Because they probably got paid. You got paid to be in witness relocation, right?
I think so.
So yeah. I think he's probably using it for himself. But the point is this, regardless, this shit's all a scam.
It's all a scam. Exactly. You said.
If those parents know, I'm sure all the other parents know. I don't think there's any parents who are in the dark on this one.
No, I don't think so.
You know, like the all closed casket. Come on, give me a fucking break. Is there anything about this case that's provable?
No.
Bullshit. Is anything provable?
Is there any provable facts that an actual crime scene took place? That's what Ellie's really saying. And I would say, no, there isn't.
Yeah.
Not even from the funeral aspect, as Ellie just said. Nothing, folks. Really
no.
nothing.
So that's kind of what we wanted to come on and talk about, the new stuff. And, you know, like I said, I'm going to keep apprised. I'll keep you apprised as well.
Thank
Jason.
you. Good.
More,
Excellent. Please do.
What goes on with this court case? I think the judge is just going to chuck it and say, no, this prosecutor can go ahead. But I don't know.
Huh.
It just seems like a very minor issue to be asking for someone to be removed. I've seen them asked to have judges removed who might have had a bias either way for or against the person, but
okay,
or the victim or whoever or whatever, they were involved somehow.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of a prosecutor because their kid called from school when, you know.
Yeah, that is bizarre.
It's just like what was talked about, right? that was so important that you have to have them disqualified.
Right. And by the way, Ellie, you may already know this. Apparently, Tyler Robinson, it's been proven, he was at basically a headquarters for the CIA, trained or in buildings where CIA headquarters are, folks. Mm-hmm. This is like, think about it, intelligence operation, folks. Luigi Mangione, you know, we can get into him another day, but same thing in a way, because he went to a preppy high school or preppy school, right? College, university, whatever it was. And often the feds or at times will train people like potentially Luigi Mangione, embed them in high academic positions, Brian Kohlberger, and make them as a plant. What's that?
It's not Mangione, it's Mangione.
Mangione, sorry, Luigi Mangione. Ellie's got a lot of Italian in her.
Yeah.
She knows the proper pronunciation. Thank you for the correction. These cases are fascinating, though. I'm glad we're covering them. I've got another case that, if Ellie agrees, we could cover someday, which is the Sheriff Stein shooting the judge. Yeah. I'm kind of suspecting and questioning, could that have been stage 2? Again, no blood, folks. No blood. Very strange.
I don't know. I've seen it on crime shows, but I'd have to have a better look at all the evidence.
If you don't mind putting in the time someday, you might be interested, Ellie, when you dig into that case. It's fascinating, the corruption going on. You find out in Kentucky with the inmates, the sheriffs, the deposition that the Sheriff Steins was going to have to testify to. Yeah. But again, you look at these people, folks, with, like the 4 students. If you're a confidential informant, or in this case, say a judge, the judge is going to answer to other higher-ups. Brian Thompson for Evil Healthcare, he's going to be potentially protected and have a WITSEC program potentially set up for him. Fake a death, which the feds are getting better and better at doing. Or Charlie Kirk's case, Ellie says it was so fake. Yes. They did it real sloppy. And apparently they don't care for the most part. Maybe now they're starting to care because you and I and others are talking about it. Just trying to provide more truth and transparency to these all-important cases. So.
Yeah. No, it's there's so many people who are just talking about this, and there's so many people who feel the way you and I feel. And there's so many people who just don't agree with anything that's being said. And I don't know how they feel, but they're going to come to the same conclusion eventually. That this was all faff. It's all a setup. And we're being lied to.
We're being lied to. That's not good.
Anyways, I got to sign off. I got to get ready.
Thank you. By the way, if Ellie allows me, real quick, I hope you enjoy ESTEY'S Crime Maze. Check out my past videos. I've got interviews, of course, again, with Ellie and I over there. We did amazing interviews. Ellie, nobody can compete with Ellie, but she'll be respectful for any guests that we have on if they will collaborate with us sometime. We had Devil's Advocates. He showed some gumption and balls and cockswagger to be with Ellie and I, so I'll always give him credit for that. And please subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my videos. Again, hit that bell icon, the like button. Helps with the algorithms. Leave me a comment. That also helps with the algorithms. And for heaven's sakes, feel free to share these videos. Thank you for listening, everyone. Appreciate it. Thanks, Ellie. Have a great day.
You too. And you can catch me at Rumble at Truth Inc. Or you can catch me on Odyssey at Truth Inc. Or you can catch me on, oh, geez, where else is it? Brighton under Cusinelli's or Ellie's Place too. No, Cusinelli's, I think. Anyway, so look, we all have our thing. We all deduce things a certain way. And even people here in the comments feel the same way we do. Not only about Erica Kirk, but about this whole thing that just, it reeks of not of awesomeness. It reeks of fakeness. It reeks of phony. And I can't buy into phony. Look, these situations are psyops, and we got to understand why they're psyops and what are they getting us away from so that they can do. because they'll always tell you, look over here while they're doing something here. So you really got to watch. Is it one of those? Or are these just unfortunate situations that had to be done this way, and we are the victims, the sheeple who get lied to? Like, personally, it doesn't make a difference to me either way, whether he just walked away from TPUSA or if they want to do it this way. I mean, it gave us something to talk about for a while anyway, but I mean, he should have had it done better. This was fake as fuck. And Charlie, I hope you're in Valhalla. And anyway, I'm going to sign off. I hope you all have a great day. Like I said, it is what it is, folks. We need to understand that we need to open our eyes more. We need to pay attention more and focus more on what's not being shown as opposed to what is being shown. You have yourself a great day, and we'll chat again soon. Live from Truth Inc.